In the midst of the American Civil War, when the fate of a nation hung in the balance, and President Abraham Lincoln was consumed with the enormity of keeping the Union together, an unusual letter arrived in Washington, D.C. It was from halfway around the world, from King Mongkut of Siam, a monarch renowned for his intellect, curiosity, and forward-thinking vision. This correspondence would become one of the most memorable diplomatic exchanges of the 19th century, not for its political content, but for the extraordinary gift it proposed. A herd of elephants, offered as a symbol of friendship and in the hope of strengthening ties between two distant nations. To understand the significance of this gesture, one must first appreciate the context from which it arose. The mid-1800s were a period of immense upheaval and transformation. In Southeast Asia, Siam, modern-day Thailand, was facing the encroachment of Western colonial powers. King Mongkut, who ascended the throne in 1851, recognized the need to modernize his kingdom and engage with the outside world. Fluent in several languages and educated in both religious and worldly matters, Mongkut was determined to secure Siam's sovereignty through diplomacy, trade, and cultural exchange. Siam's relationship with the United States had been formalized only a few years earlier, through the Treaty of Amity and Commerce in 1856. Negotiated by Townsend Harris, this treaty reflected Siam's desire to be seen as an equal among nations, and to benefit from the technological and economic advances of the West. For Mongkut, every interaction with foreign powers was an opportunity to showcase his kingdom's sophistication, generosity, and willingness to participate in the global community. Meanwhile, the United States in 1862 was a country in crisis. The Civil War, sparked by deep divisions over slavery and states' rights, threatened to tear the nation apart. President Lincoln, newly elected and facing unprecedented challenges, spent his days navigating military strategies, political rivalries, and the ever-present specter of foreign intervention. The great powers of Europe watched the conflict with interest and caution, weighing the possibility of recognizing the Confederate States. In this tumultuous environment, the arrival of King Mongkut's letter was both unexpected and remarkable. Dated February 14, 1862, the letter was addressed initially to Lincoln's predecessor, James Buchanan, but by the time it reached Washington, Lincoln was in office. Written in English, a testament to Mongkut's education and his desire for direct communication, the letter was gracious, detailed, and suffused with a sense of goodwill. At its heart was the offer of several pairs of elephants, male and female, to be shipped from Siam to the United States. Mongkut's reasoning was practical and symbolic. In his eyes, a nation as vast and resource-rich as the United States surely deserved to benefit from the strength and utility of elephants. In Siam, these majestic animals were not only symbols of royal authority and religious significance, but also essential for transportation, ceremonial occasions, and labor-intensive tasks, such as logging and construction. By sharing this prized resource, Mongkut hoped to cement a bond of friendship while also demonstrating Siam's wealth and advanced animal husbandry. The king went so far as to suggest practical arrangements for the elephants' journey. He proposed that the United States dispatch a steamship to Siam to transport the animals, and that once on American soil, they could be allowed to roam the country's forests and multiply. He seemed convinced that America's vast, untamed lands would provide a suitable habitat for these gentle giants, and that they could become a valuable asset for a growing nation. Lincoln's response, penned on February 3, 1863, was a masterclass in diplomatic tact. Despite the ongoing war and the many demands on his attention, Lincoln took the time to acknowledge Mongkut's generosity and the spirit of friendship that inspired his offer. He expressed his sincere appreciation for the thoughtfulness behind the gift, recognizing the honor that such a gesture represented. However, Lincoln gently explained that the United States, unlike Siam, did not possess the climate or environment necessary to support elephants. He noted that the American people relied increasingly on steam and electricity for transportation and labor, hinting at the technological advances that distinguish the industrializing West from the traditions of Asia. He also understood, implicitly, the enormous logistical challenges that would accompany the transport and care of elephants, particularly during a time of national emergency. In declining the offer, Lincoln was careful not to offend. His words conveyed respect for Mongkut's intentions and a desire to maintain the warm relations between their countries. He assured the king that the friendship between Siam and the United States would endure, with or without the presence of elephants. This exchange, while seemingly lighthearted, reveals much about the complexities of international diplomacy in the 19th century. For Siam, the offer of elephants was more than a token gift. It was a calculated effort to engage with the West on equal footing, to display cultural richness and generosity, and to ensure the kingdom's continued independence in a world of expanding empires. For the United States, it was a reminder of the global stage upon which even a nation at war must perform, and of the importance of responding to diplomatic overtures with grace and sensitivity. The story of King Mongkut's elephants has since entered the realm of historical anecdote, often cited as an example of cross-cultural misunderstanding, or as a charming footnote to Lincoln's presidency. It has been retold in books, articles, and popular media, sometimes embellished or fictionalized, but always retaining its essential message: that gestures of friendship, even those that seem impractical, have the power to bridge continents and cultures. In the broader sweep of history, the episode underscores the enduring value of diplomacy and the ways in which cultural symbols can both unite and confound. It is a testament to the vision of two leaders, one striving to safeguard his ancient kingdom, the other working to preserve a young nation, who, despite their differences, recognized the importance of dialogue, respect, and mutual understanding. Thus, the tale of the Siamese elephants offered to America is more than a curious episode. It is a window into a world where diplomacy was conducted with ceremony, imagination, and a willingness to see possibility in the unfamiliar. It reminds us that even amid war and uncertainty, acts of goodwill can resonate across time, leaving a legacy of connection and hope.